Namaste. In today's practice, I'll guide you through a sequence of alternating movement and stillness, and just to reconnect not only with your body, but also with what is happening in your body energetically and how you perceive yourself in the space around you. And so that you reconnect with those three layers of your being: the physical, the energetic, and the unseen. And we'll start lying down in supine butterfly. So you can find yourself on your back with your feet together, knees apart. And let your hands rest wherever is comfortable. Your hands can rest on your belly or arms by your sides. And just taking a moment to settle in, to become aware of the support of the ground. To notice how your body feels as it resting in this pose. Noticing any areas of tightness or tenderness. Maybe noticing where there's contact with the floor and where you can feel the movement of the space around you against your skin. And then see if you can feel your breath, the physical aspect of your breath that creates this gentle rising and falling of your belly and chest. And just notice on this physical level if the breath feels smooth and rhythmic, or if your breath feels somewhat stuck in your chest and a little congested. So purely physical, can you feel the sensations of breath? And then notice the energetic qualities of your breath. The inhale, bringing a little more alertness, aliveness, inspiration. The exhale as a release, relaxation, letting go. Just noticing how your breath can serve you in this moment by either emphasizing the inhale or the exhale.
Focusing on the inhale is more energizing. Focusing on the exhale is more relaxing. And 2 more rounds of the breath with focus of your choice. And then as you release the attention of breath, just notice your awareness of the space around you and how large that awareness is right now. Is it just close around your body, or does it fan out to a larger space? And then use your hands to bring your knees up so feet come on the floor and a little wider than your hips so knees can lean together. Setting an intention for your practice. And as you let your left hand rest on your heart, right hand on your lower belly, together let's also set the intention to practice for the benefit of all living beings on the planet. And take a nice deep breath in and release with a sigh. And as you bring your arms along sides again, make sure you have a block within your reach. And so just have it handy by your mat. And placing your feet in line with your hips now, ankles under knees, arms by your sides. We're going to go through this little flow where you inhale, the legs extend up to ceiling, feet are flexed, arms reach up to ceiling and then overhead onto the floor above you. On your exhale, bend your knees, point your toes, arms reach up and come back by your side, just toes touch the floor, almost. Inhale, legs come up again, feet flexed, arms overhead, back onto the floor, overhead. And on your exhale, bend your knees, arms by your sides, and now this time lower your feet all the way to the floor. Inhale, lift hips up into a low bridge. And exhale, lower hips back down. So this is going to be your little flow. Inhale, legs up, arms up. Feet are flexed, arms overhead. Exhale, point toes, knees bent. Arms by your sides, toes barely touch the floor. Inhale, arms up, legs up. Exhale, arms back by sides, lower feet to floor. Inhale, hips lift into a low bridge. And exhale, hips lower down. So a few more of these movements as you now begin to connect More with the sensations. Pulling belly button to spine. You lower your feet. Being aware of breath. So go at your own pace. Finding space and length as you extend legs and arms, and strength when you lower your big toes towards the floor. And then wherever you are, we'll do one more round. Making sure lower back stays neutral as you lower toes towards floor. And then last time you come into a bridge pose and you lower it down back to the floor. It's the end of this little sequence. And then on your inhale again, come back to a bridge pose, this time to stay there. So make sure that you feel stable with ankles straight under knees, feet hip distance. Your arms can stay parallel to one another, so you don't have to interlace your fingers here, but see if you can press your upper arm bones down to widen and open the chest. And hips don't have to be as high as possible, but just finding the stability in your pelvis and your legs. Just energetically drawing heels towards shoulders as knees reach over toes. And just a gentle movement of belly button to spine. And tucking into the physical sensations of sustaining this bridge, noticing the strength in your legs. And the shoulders grounding downwards. And see if you can feel breath first as physical sensation, just from the movement and expansion of chest on the inhale, and then the release on the exhale. And then using the breath energetically, maybe to help you sustain the pose by emphasizing the inhale for more energy. Or if you're finding yourself becoming tight and rigid, focusing on the exhale. Just a few more moments here. See if you can soften into the intensity of the physical sensations. And 2 more rounds of breath. Now reach for your block, place it under your buttocks and slowly lower your pelvis down until it lands on your block, the lowest setting. Just the sacrum, the lower back is free. And then bring your feet just a hair wider than your hips and let knees lean into each other. They probably won't touch, but just letting the legs relax and the pelvis to be heavy and drop into the block. Arms can make a little more space here, moving away from the body. Now after this sustained effort in the bridge, and you now become soft in this supported bridge. Noticing the effects, strengthening your muscles. And perhaps you're noticing that the echo of the previous pose is mostly energetic right now. Possibly feeling sensations of tingling or pulsation. And also notice if that shift from physical effort to this stillness is changing anything in your awareness of the space around you. And notice if it's possible to let all these different levels of your existence to be present at the same time, the physical, the energetic, and then the awareness of space. And take 2 more breaths here. And slowly bring your feet back in line with your hips. And then engage your legs, engage your buttocks, engage your abdomen to lift the pelvis off the block, just to stabilize lower back, and with that engagement slowly lower your hips back to the floor. And slowly straighten your legs and pause for a moment, noticing how your body feels right now. And then slowly turn onto your belly. Letting your forehead rest on your hands, so elbows are bent. Your hands make a little stack to rest your head on. Engage your legs so that your kneecaps are probably lifted off the floor, but the tops of your feet are still on the floor. Buttocks engaged, pull belly button gently to spine. And as you inhale, begin to lift both legs, arms, head and shoulders off the floor into the boat pose, and on your exhale, lower down. So inhale, lifting up into Shalabhasana, and as you exhale, lower down. And as you continue to lift and lower, again, starting with awareness of the physical, which muscles are working. How can you keep your lower back stable and wide without crunching the little vertebrae there. So engage your core. And using breath. Inhale to lift you up. Exhale to lower you down. Let's do 3 more of these. And after your 3rd one, lower head and everything back down to the floor. Bring your feet as wide as your mat, and then bring your hands on either side of your mat. So hands are a little wider than your mat, at about shoulder level, and come onto your fingertips, elbows pointing up towards the ceiling. Or roll your shoulders back, so feet are a little wider than your hips, and as you inhale, press into your hands to begin to lift up. Keep your gaze down, and then slowly, eventually your chin comes parallel to the floor, and exhale, roll your spine back down, keeping elbows lifted and wide as your head touches the floor. Inhale, shoulders roll back, begin to peel yourself off the floor, legs are engaged, the head is the last to move, chin parallel to floor, and exhale, lower down 1 vertebra at a time. Shoulders roll back to start. Inhale, peel yourself off the floor, lifting up, chest stays nice and wide, belly button engaged. Exhale, roll back down. 2 more like this. Inhale. And exhale. And 1 more. Inhale. And exhale. Bring your hands back under your head. Pause for a moment, relaxing your body. Noticing the effects of these strengthening movements, not only physically but also energetically. And then as you lift your chest again, this time bring elbows under shoulders for a yin sphinx pose. Palms can be together or flat on the mat, whatever feels comfortable. And if today having elbows under shoulders is feeling too much, bring your elbows a little further away from you for less arch in the lower back. So finding softness now in your Sphinx pose. Feet can still be wider than the hips if you like. From that physical strengthening, now coming back to the energetics, imagine that you could breathe in through the soles of your feet. And you breathe in up your legs, breath into the lower back and your kidneys. And as you exhale, imagine the breath energizing your kidneys, creating space in your lower back. So inhale through the feet, breath energetically moves up into lumbar area and kidneys. And then exhale, let the breath create space and vitality. So just repeat that a few more times. As you repeat that round of breath for 2 more times, just noticing if you can actually feel the movement of breath through the legs into your kidneys. As you return to your regular breath, notice if you can feel any resonance of this energetic movement as your physical body is remaining still. Take 2 more breaths here. Now bring your elbows really stable under your shoulders, palms on the floor or on your mat. Bring your feet in line with your hips and tuck your toes. Straighten your legs so the kneecaps are off the floor. Pull your belly button to your spine, and on your exhale, lift your hips up into a forearm plank. You may have to step your feet in just a hair. Now really engage the muscles along your spine, your core, belly button to spine, sending tailbone to your heels. Press down into your forearms to create space under your armpits. Nice long neck, so look straight down. After this passive back bend, strengthening now the whole back, the whole front, your entire body. So noticing the physical effort here. And at the same time, you may notice even a little shaking as energy is being loosened up here. Just 2 more breaths. And as you exhale, lower your knees. See if you can keep your toes tucked as you move your hips back into a child's pose. Forehead resting on mat. And with your toes tucked, you get a nice little stretch for the soles of your feet. And then untuck your toes and just coming into a regular child's pose. Noticing both the physical and energetic effects of this sequence so far, alternating movement and stillness. On your next inhale, come onto your knees. Your arms reach out to the sides and up overhead. You're in a kneeling position. On your exhale, arch your back, pull your elbows into your waist. Chest widens and lifts slightly. Inhale, straighten back up, arms overhead. Exhale, hands reach back around into a child's pose as your arms come forward into an extended child's pose. Inhale again to your knees, arms reach out and up. Exhale, elbows hug into your waist, arch your back, looking slightly up. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, arms sweep back behind you as your hips come back and arms slide forward into an extended child's pose. Inhale to your knees and exhale to a downward facing dog. taking a moment here to move around in your downward facing dog, however that feels good right now. Maybe as simple as straightening one leg as you bend the opposite knee. And then eventually come to stillness. Knees are slightly bent to keep spine nice and long so that sits bones can really lift up. Grounding hands nice and wide in your shoulder blades, front ribs hug in together. As you inhale, come forward to a plank pose, spine is nice and long. On your exhale, back to down dog, knees slightly bent. Inhale, moving from hips, come to plank. Long spine, strong legs. Exhale, down dog, knees slightly bent. Just a few more like this, moving from plank to down dog. The movement happens at the hinge of your hips. The spine stays long the entire time. Abdomen are active, so lower back stays protected, lower belly engaged. 2 more. And on your next exhale, whenever you end in downward dog, pause there. And on your next inhale, step your right foot forward between your hands. Lower the back knee, untuck the toes, hug the left buttock in towards the midline. As you inhale, reach the right arm forward and up. As you turn your chest to the right into a twist, hugging inner thigh to belly, belly to inner thigh. Lift up under left armpit. Take a nice breath. As you exhale, reach your right arm backwards, parallel to the floor. Look past your fingertips. Tuck the back toes. Straighten the back leg. See if you can hug the legs towards the midline. Now lower the right hand down to the floor. Straighten your front leg. Draw the right hip back, round the right big toe. Back heel is still lifted, and that's all right. Take a few breaths here. If you like, you could flex the front foot, digging the right heel downwards to get even more stretch in the calf muscles. And take another breath or 2. As you exhale, lower your foot, bend your front knee, step back to downward facing dog. Inhale to plank. Exhale, knees down, child's pose. Keep your arms extended. Inhale to your knees, then hips come forward and down as chest stays up into cobra, elbows hug into your waist. Exhale, head chest down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, hands and knees. Exhale, downward facing dog, knees slightly bent. And take a nice deep breath in and sigh it out. So as you notice the physical engagement of muscles in this pose, what energetics are you aware of in your body right now? How much are you aware of the space around you? And on your next inhale, step your left foot forward between your hands, lower
the right knee, untuck the toes, hug the right buttock in. Then reach the left arm forward and up as you turn your chest to the left into a twist, hugging belly to left inner thigh to belly. Right buttock is really engaged to stabilize lower back. Take another breath. Exhale, reach your left arm behind you, looking past your fingertips. Arm is parallel to the floor. Tuck your back toes, straighten the back leg. Legs are super strong here. And then lower left hand to the floor as you look forward and then straighten the front leg, pulling left hip back, grounding left big toe. Of course, you can always use blocks here if needed to create a little more length in your arms. Deep breath. And if you like, you can flex the front foot, pressing down through the heel. Another breath. As you exhale, lower your foot, bend your front knee, and then step forward into a forward fold. Feet hip distance, let your head hang. Nice. Long spine, your knees can be bent slightly if needed. Just really let the head give some traction to vertebrae. And then bring your hands to touch your ankles, the back of your ankles. Bend your knees a little more and then slide your hands up the back of your legs as you slowly roll up. Hands stay connected to your legs and end up on your lower back. As you roll your shoulders back, your chest lifts, and then your chin is the last to lift up slightly into a mini back bend. Tailbone down, pull belly button back. And on your exhale, straighten up, slide your hands to the lower belly. Close your eyes for a moment, or gaze down to the ground. Noticing the effect of your practice so far. Which physical parts of your body are awake now? Where can you feel energy moving? And how far does your awareness of the space around you extend right now? Slowly open your eyes if they were closed. Release your hands, reach them out and up as you inhale. And on your exhale, knees can bend slightly, fold forward. Hands to the floor as you walk your feet back into a downward facing dog. Inhale to plank. Exhale, knees down, extended child's pose. Inhale to your knees, exhale, hips down, chest stays up, cobra. Elbows in as you lower chest to the floor. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, hands and knees, and exhale, downward facing dog. Knees slightly bent, creating lots of space in your lower back, all the vertebrae above it. And take another breath. And a sigh out.
Now as you inhale, come forward to a plank pose. And then bring your right knee to your right elbow and your right foot towards your left hand. And lower your shin to the floor for sleeping swan pose. If this doesn't feel appropriate for your body today, come onto your back for a figure 4 stretch instead. And so we'll practice sleeping swan, the yin version of pigeon. So if you're all right here, and lower down into your elbows. Taking a moment to let your pelvis settle, your hips to settle. The right knee is not right in front of you, but a little off center. The right heel lined up with your left hip. And just softening here into this shape. Coming back to the stillness after the movement. And you're welcome to stay on your elbows, or if you like, lower your chest all the way down to the floor. What I really like is to use blocks under my shoulders. So I lower myself but stack my shoulders on blocks so that I don't collapse in my chest. And so wherever you are and you allow your body to soften, come back to your breath and see if you can imagine again drawing your breath up through the left foot, up your left leg, and this time into your liver. Imagine how the breath is creating vitality in the liver as you exhale. So you can imagine, visualize in your mind's eye, or maybe even feel the energetic sensation of the breath moving through your left leg up into your liver. And repeat that for 2 more rounds. Returning to your regular breath. One more breath here. And then carefully lift yourself up onto your hands. And curling the back toes under, making sure hands are in line with shoulders. So you can carefully step back to a downward dog. And just stay still in your downward dog for a moment. Knees can be slightly bent. Just noticing the blood flow and chi flow in the right leg. And as you inhale, come forward to plank. Bring your left knee to the left elbow, the left foot towards your right hand. And then lower the shin to the floor and carefully slide your right leg back behind you. letting pelvis settle, and this side may be different, so if your knee doesn't like it on this side, please come onto your back for a figure 4 stretch. And then lower yourself onto your elbows when you're ready. And you can stay upright if that makes more sense for your body on this side. So listen to what your body has to say. And once you're there, see if you can soften. And repeat the breathing into the liver on this side as well to just continue that nourishment, that energetic nourishment. So imagine you could breathe through the right foot, up through the right leg into your liver. And on the exhale, the breath just brings this nourishment of chi into the liver, spreads it around. So you continue this for a few more rounds, and in the meantime, if you want to lower yourself down, you could stay on your elbows if you prefer. And 2 more rounds of breath into the liver. And as you return to your natural breath, notice if you can feel the liver, this energetic presence. And then carefully lift yourself onto your elbows and onto your hands. Now lower yourself towards your left buttock carefully. And then turn towards your extended legs. You turn around on your mat and then carefully lie down on your back. And once you're there, take a moment to notice the difference between your left and your right leg. You may now feel more of an energetic movement in the left leg. And then bend your knees. Cross your left knee over the right knee. So you really have the knees together, but they're crossed. So rather than the ankle on the knee, have the knees together. So if you're sitting at the chair in a tight skirt. And then bring your knees towards your chest. Extend arms to sides at shoulder height. And carefully lower your legs towards the left. So just giving a little extra weight on that right leg. So your right shoulder may have come off the floor here. That's all right. See if you can let the weight of your left leg just give a little more extension on your right. And relaxing right shoulder. And take a nice deep breath in. And release with a sigh out through the mouth. Now uncross your knees first, and then one leg at a time. Bring your knees back to center, feet to the floor. And then cross your right knee over your left, so knees together but crossed. Bring them into your chest. And then slowly over to the right. Now the right leg is giving a little extra weight to the left leg. And if the left shoulder comes off the floor, just allow that to be, but let it stay heavy so your shoulder relaxes. Take a nice inhale and a full exhale out through the mouth. And uncross your knees. And one leg at a time, bring your knees back to center. Hug your knees into your chest for a moment. Ready, you can slowly lower your feet and extend your legs out for Shavasana. Arms alongside your body. Closing your eyes. And take a nice deep breath in through your nose and out through the mouth. As your body settles into this complete stillness. And you may be aware still of energetic movement inside your body. Slowly begin to emphasize your inhalations. Just bringing a little more energy back into your body to wake yourself up. And move your toes and your fingers a little to bring awareness into your extremities. As your physical body is waking up again. Notice your awareness of the space around you. If that awareness has changed at all, perhaps it has become a little more clear, a little more extended, expanded. Welcome your knees into your chest. And slowly roll to whichever side you're drawn to. And carefully come back up to sit. And just taking a moment to close your eyes again. Noticing how your physical body feels right now. Noticing the energy inside your body, the quality of it. And then notice again the awareness of space around you. Bring your hands together in front of your heart and by your head. So we can offer or practice to the benefit of all sentient beings on the planet. And so that our practice eventually will lead to complete freedom and inner peace for all. Namaste.